Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Micron Technology. It is time for another update, and this was also a stock analysis request from one of the members, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I try to cover as many as possible, even though with the ongoing demand it's not really realistic and I do have to prioritize the stocks that are in high demand and the member requests when there is a video slot open. Now, today on this chart, we will not be going through the larger time frame. I have been a bit under the weather in the last few days and it is more difficult to me to go through the larger structure, and really there is no change. So if you want the entire context, I usually provide it in every single video for the new viewers. It's just not a thing I feel capable to do today. But if you want the entire context, you can check out any of our previous videos. It has remained unchanged and will provide the full details for our expectations from a larger time frame perspective. Now, today we will cover only the internal structure within this area, this uptrend that has been forming since 2025, the blue structure mainly. So here within this structure we have an initial wave 1 up, we have here a wave 2 correction, and we are looking at a third wave that would be unfolding to the upside. At this point, I have no evidence that this wave 3 would have formed a more significant top, and we have been tracking extensions. However, it is within a structure that we have formed these extensions that aren't strongly suggesting to us that we would succeed in seeing the follow through to the upside. So at any point now, I want you to be prepared that a more substantial top could be in place for this wave 3, and to have in your risk management plan the clarity, the mindset to be prepared for a descent to this larger area of support. We will not be able to look for a failure of this overall structure we have within this area without breaking the $217.6. Yeah, that is how low we can go without even affecting the probabilities or the integrity of the larger pattern we are tracking, in which we expect still to form another wave to the upside. Now, depending on which structure unfolds within this area, we have provided some ideal targets for this wave 3 in yellow, for example, and that remains at the 138.2% extension of the wave 1. So here we would be watching the level, and I actually need to go on the daily time frame for this, but we would be watching the $650 level. That is around the area where the ideal target for this wave 3 in yellow resides. We are looking for an impulse, and even if this is not a wave 3 in yellow, we are still looking to build a 5-wave pattern within this area. Even within the wave C in white, we expect a 5-wave structure. Now, internally in this wave 3 in blue, we have been looking for a possible extension, as I was saying, because we were tracking a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 within this area. Within this pattern, we are looking to complete a 5th wave of a larger 5th wave of this larger wave 3. Within this structure, we would ideally form another high, although it is not a requirement. It is not necessary for us to be able to track a potentially full structure within this area. And I do have to say, if we form another low, if we attempt to form a reset within this wave 4 at this point, the correction would start to run out of proportions compared with our wave 2 correction. This is suggesting additionally that a more substantial top would already be in place and that the blue structure would be taking charge without forming the extension of the 5th wave in orange. Now, on the flip side, if we get an extension in this 5th wave in orange, nothing substantial would change. We would only look for this to be the new high within the wave 3 in blue, and we would need to adjust to the larger area of support accordingly. Yeah, nothing substantial. Now, in the previous video, we have been looking for the potential reversal to the upside. We had some internal levels of resistance we were tracking that got invalidated, and then we provided an updated area of resistance based on a potentially larger ABC structure. Now, keep in mind, this is a flat correction if it is to extend to lower prices. It could go even beyond our last level of resistance here in white, and could be even beyond the top we currently have within an overshoot that would still allow us to track this as part of the corrective pattern. What I want you to be aware of is that we are within a topping area, very likely. Yeah, we don't do predictions here. I'm not predicting that we have formed a top, but it might be the case that we would extend in a more direct fashion into the blue area of support, and for that we have been watching more specifically this 78.6% retracement up to the $434.3. During the time since the previous video, we have pushed perfectly into this last level of resistance. I suppose we did push a bit above it within a week, but nothing substantial that would allow me to even consider that a break has occurred, that we are more likely to look for the next wave to the upside to extend to higher prices. Now, in addition to that, I want to remind you, within this orange structure, we are tracking an ending diagonal to form within this area, meaning within this fifth wave, we are only looking for an ABC pattern to occur for a more substantial top to be in place. That is all we really expect of this fifth wave in orange to form to the upside. And I'm pointing all of these limitations in terms of the structure we are currently tracking because I want you to actively think of a plan, of a strategy for your positioning within this area. If you already have a position, taking some profits within this high level of consolidation is not necessarily a bad idea. This is not guaranteed that we will extend in this orange interpretation in the fifth wave. I want you to leave the ego, the emotions aside, because this is where you could be taking a winner and transforming it into a loser. It is within a very high risk area. I cannot stress this enough, and we may form a top at any point now. In fact, if we go here in the smaller time frame, I am even able to identify a quite very structure here. Now, it's not necessarily a clear pattern that looks extremely bearish, but it's simply forming these lower highs continuously while we are trending to lower prices. Now, sure, we have managed to form here within the very small time frame a couple of higher lows as well, but nothing I would consider substantial. I would not trust this structure. I would not trust this area in any capacity. And even the structure that has been building prior to this descent is not suggesting high probabilities for continuation to even higher prices. Now, if I were to look for this structure to extend higher, I would probably most likely consider this to be an ABC pattern that would be unfolding. Within this wave C, I could very easily look for another high before I would consider a more substantial top, a more clearly full count to be in place. So we could be looking for an adjusted area of support we could be tracking in that case. So here we have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and this could be considered a third wave to the upside within an ending diagonal in a wave C in this area. Now, even if we build this wave C, we would only be looking for one additional high from the current lows, and we would still expect afterwards a quite substantial correction, yeah? Even in the bullish interpretation where we extend to higher prices, I could very easily see extensions to lower prices before forming this overall larger fifth wave to the upside. Now, this is not a guarantee. Once again, we are not dealing with predictions here, but this is what the pattern is suggesting to me. And the updated area of support for a wave 4 correction, because I provided this to you in the previous video, but we have pushed higher since, would be here down to the $394 level. So far, we are still holding this area of support, but it's not within a strong fashion. Yeah, we have pushed into the last level, and if we form a break below the current wave 4 swing low, even the proportions would become unmatched. Even the area of support would get broken, and we would have a strong signal that this has become an even higher risk pattern that would be expected to form to the upside. I could very easily look for a WXY structure to have taken place and look for a larger, potentially ABC structure to form here in a white structure where we have already pushed into the last main level of resistance. Yeah, there are additional levels of resistance we could be tracking. We could actually even bring them here on the chart, and that would be for a potential overshoot within a wave B in this area. So yeah, we would then be watching the 88.7% retracement up to the $444 level. very much in line with previous significant tops we have formed within this area. Yeah, we have previously struggled to break through these levels. Now, do with this what you will. In my opinion, this is an extremely high risk area, and I would be extremely wary of an extension to lower prices ultimately that could be here within this red interpretation. Let's use white, it's just more visible in this area anyway. And while within this internal structure we only have a 3-wave move to the downside currently, the structure to the upside does not seem suggestive of a breakthrough, to be honest. And it's not to say that it is impossible, but I don't see it likely that we will even get the next wave to the upside. And if we are to extend to lower prices, the ideal target for the wave C would be the 100% extension of the wave A. Now keep in mind this is just that, an ideal target, and we don't need to stop there. That is at the 351, let's say $350.6 level, around that area anyway. Now, before we end the video, I wanted to briefly mention our channel newsletter. You can find the sign up link in the description and you will get access to our monthly top picks where we identify for you these high quality opportunities. Not what we have here within the smaller time frame, but the likely structures that we will mention that you can track along with us here on YouTube as we head into these higher quality areas of support, higher probability areas for a reversal. And it is completely free, but if you enjoy the content and you want to support us, you can check out our channel membership. The link for that is in the description as well, or you can click the join button and you will get access to a couple of cool perks, including additional content. And if you want to find out more about the channel membership or the newsletter, you can check out our channel update video. It is on our channel page, or by clicking the join button, it will also pop up as the intro video for the membership. But for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. If you enjoyed the update, you could also like the video, it would help us out a lot, and in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful time, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.